Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Patel and Kumar live NBA watch party. And good morning to all the audience in India. Good evening to all the audience in the US. I'm your host, Shivam Patel, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. And we're here watching the Golden State Warriors versus the Dallas Mavericks. And right now, it's currently halftime, and the Mavericks have a big lead on the Warriors, 62-29. Let's hope that the second half will be a little bit closer. So my co-host, Mr. Kumar, will be joining us in just a few minutes. But I wanted to first explain the format, of this watch party. So of course, our usual show, which happens every 2 weeks on Thursdays. But this is a little bit different from that. This is more of a relaxed format. We're just going to be here sitting, relaxing on the couch, watching some basketball. We're going to be talking about the game, other storylines happening around the game. It's a big Luka versus Steph matchup. We'll talk about the significance of this game as both teams are fighting to play fighting for position in the Western Conference. Right now, the Mavericks are sixth in the West, and the Warriors are 10th. So it's a big game with lots of ramifications. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And be sure to put your comments in the chat section below, and they may be featured live on the show. So right now, like I said, the Mavericks are up 62-29 on the Golden State Warriors. And in the second half, me and Mr. Kumar, who will be coming in a few minutes, will do more, play-by-play color commentary as the second half gets started. But first, let's recap the first half. So the Mavericks have a big lead. Luka Doncic has 16 points. He's playing really well, being super aggressive, finding a step-back three-pointer shot, attacking the basket, getting a lot of assists. He's playing really well. Jalen Brunson, who's going along for the ride, also has hit some nice shots, as well as Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's more of a collective effort for the Dallas Mavericks, and they're making shots. That's the bottom line in this game, that the Mavericks have been scorching hot, not only from the field, but from three. They're shooting like 60% from the field. They made 9 3-pointers so far. They just cannot miss right now. And they're getting little resistance from the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have had a disappointing defensive effort so far in the first half of this game. So hopefully they can improve that in the second half if they want any chance of making a comeback. Also, the Mavericks have 11 assists. I love their ball movement, player movement. They're really cutting, getting easy shots, getting a lot of easy layups, open threes, really making the defense move and put them in, different positions where it's really hard to guard them. And again, yes, live chat comments will get featured on the show. So be sure to put your comments in the chat section below. It makes it a lot more fun, a lot more interactive, more engagement. We definitely want to hear from you, audience. What are your thoughts on the first half of this game? What are your thoughts about Luka Doncic, Steph Curry's performance? Who will play better in the second half, and will the Warriors come back? So definitely put your chats in the comments section below. So for the Warriors side, Steph Curry has 14 points. He's playing, he's playing pretty good. He's trying to do all he can. He's doing a great job of, attacking the basket, shooting threes. But it's just that when he does try to pass to his teammates, they're really struggling. Oubre has been really struggling and had a rough first half, as well as Andrew Wiggins. And it's just a make or miss league. The bottom line of this first half is that the Mavericks are making shots. The Warriors
up and feel good about yourself,
because right now, the Warriors only have 3 3-pointers made, 3 for 18. So it's just been ice cold, like a lid on the basket. But Steph Curry has already made 2 3-pointers, and I think that's pretty encouraging for the Warriors. So let's talk about Steph Curry a little bit more. Of course, as you know, he's been on this complete hot streak. This entire month of April. He broke James Harden's record for most three-pointers in a month. Right now, he has 85 three-pointers. Excuse me, not excluding the 2 3-pointers that he made tonight. So he actually has 87. And let's see, if he can get to 100. They played tonight, and they have one more game, before the end of April. So let's see if Steph Curry can, catch fire and get hot, because once he sees the ball go through the basket, he can get as hot as any player in the NBA. And he also broke, Kobe Bryant's record record for most consecutive, 30-point games. He's just been on a tear. This past week, they went on an East Coast road trip and they got wins against Philadelphia, wins against the Washington Wizards. They got some really nice wins, and it was a big part because of Steph Curry. He's more responsible for this team. With Klay Thompson, being out and losing Kevin Durant, he's more responsible for carrying the burden for this team. He has to, score the points on the offensive end on the floor, and his teammates really look for him on the offensive end of the floor. He does not have very much help. Draymond is not as much of an offensive threat. Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre, they'll have games where they play well, but then they also have clunkers like in the first half. So you don't know what you're going to get from those guys on a nightly basis. So that all goes on Steph's shoulders. And, he's responsible for scoring, facilitating, get those guys open looks. His usage rate through this month has been through the roof, but they really needed him in order to play well. He's not stat padding, because if Steph Curry did not put up those numbers, then the Warriors would be in no position to be in the play-in tournament and in 10th place in the Western Conference right now. So it's major props to Steph Curry for this historic performance. So we got an audience comment of Soham Gupta is saying, if Curry's able to get the Warriors out of this mess, he's the MVP in my eyes. Well, yeah, for sure, Soham. He had an argument when he was going on this major stretch of hot scoring, in April, that he could put himself in the MVP discussion. But now he's kind of cooled off a little bit. He had a rough game against the Wizards. But I still think that it's hard to, give somebody the MVP if their team is right now like in the play-in tournament. Right now, the Warriors are in 10th place right now. And if they get to 6th, maybe they have an argument, but it doesn't look like it. They're going to have to go on a major they're going to have to go on a major hot streak and win a lot of games going forward. So I think Steph Curry at least is in the top 5 for MVP candidates. And he really shows you how amazing of a player Steph Curry is and how underrated he is, because people still underestimate him because of his size. But he has everything in the book. He has the ball handling skills where he can literally get anywhere on the court. These last couple of the games, the teams have been trapping him on the pick and roll, but he's still able to use the between the legs, behind the back dribbling moves to be able to get to his spots. And yes, Eklavius is saying, so on Gupta, we need Rajnikant type of second half from Curry. Yeah, let's cross our fingers. Steph Curry is going to have to go on a Jordan-like, Kobe-like stretch in the second half in order to make this game closer. The Mavericks are going to continue to run away, with this game. But yeah, Steph Curry's been very impressive, facilitating, scoring around the rim, making threes. Even when he doesn't have the ball, he's really impressive when he's able to find the open spots. He sets off the ball screens. He likes to cut. He can really get open and use his quickness in order to get a lot of open shots. He utilizes a shot fake really well and to get the defenders to jump in the air. And I think Steph Curry, his work off the ball is just as impressive as him shooting three-pointers. So let's see. Let's hope that Steph Curry could continue to get hot, in the second half. And he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for the Warriors' all-time scoring leader. He has 1,831 points. He's the Warriors' all-time scoring leader. He's just beloved by the Warriors fans. Even when Kevin Durant was with the Warriors, Steph Curry was still the fan favorite, despite Durant being the best player on the Warriors. And I don't see him, leaving. I think he's going to continue to stick his career out. And let's see, with the Warriors, because they're missing James Wiseman, they're missing Klay Thompson, but they're going to most likely have another high draft pick next year, and those guys get back. So let's see, what's going to happen. So let's also then transition to talk about Luka Doncic. So Luka Doncic has been playing really well this season. He was the MVP favorite coming into the season. He struggled a little bit in the beginning, but he's really picked it up, in the new year in 2021. Right now, he has 9 triple-doubles for the season. And earlier in the year, in January, he broke Michael Jordan's record for the most triple-doubles, in NBA history. And yeah, he has total triple-doubles before turning 22 years old. Luka has 30. Magic, LeBron, and Oscar Robertson combined have 29. So that just shows you what Luka Doncic is able to do on a nightly basis at such a young age. That's even amazing that he's putting up these crazy numbers, and he's this high caliber of a player at such a young age. And he broke Michael Jordan's all-time record, NBA record for most triple-doubles. He's on triple-double watch tonight. He's getting the assists, getting the points. So let's see what's going to happen. So, in the second half, once we start to get to the live commentary, we're going to have a little tracker of Steph Curry made threes and Luka Doncic triple double watch. So we're going to see right now Steph Curry, I believe, has two made 3-pointers, and Luka Doncic is maybe has a chance to get a triple double. Let's see. Hopefully he'll be able to get that triple double because hopefully he'll be on the floor in the fourth quarter. The margin will not be too wide, for the Dallas Mavericks. And again, we will be doing the play-by-play starting at the beginning of the third quarter. Again, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much again for tuning in and watching. Put your comments in the chat section below. The Mavericks are right now leading at halftime 62-29. My co-host, Mr. Kumar, will be coming on in just a few minutes, and Luka Doncic right now is out dueling Steph Curry, and he's been playing really well so far in this game and in the past. He was a Western Conference Player of the Week. He's been averaging 26, 10, and 9, almost a triple double. I think by the time his career ends, he has a chance to average a triple double. By the time he gets in his prime, he's that excellent of a player and that high quality of a player. So I think look for Luka Doncic to continue to, keep his foot on the gas pedal, continue to play well and be aggressive in the second half. And I love the sense of urgency, going back to this recap of the first half of the Dallas Mavericks, because, last night the Mavericks had a heartbreaking loss against the Sacramento Kings where they've surprisingly struggled against a weaker Kings team. They lost last night on the road in Sacramento after coming off a high streak, beating the Lakers twice at home. So the Mavericks, I think they feel that sense of urgency that right now they're at sixth place in the Western Conference with the chance to avoid the play-in tournament. And of course, we know that's something that, Luka Doncic and Mark Cuban are both against play-in tournament. So I think that's giving them a little extra motivation. And Volub is saying that the Warriors still have a chance and just a good run to start the third. Exactly. This game is going to be determined by the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. If the Warriors can get a little hot streak going on, make a couple shots, get a couple defensive stops, then yes, they can gain some confidence because the Mavericks like to shoot a lot of threes and they attempt a lot of threes. So you never know. They were hot in the first half. They could go ice cold in the second half. You just never know with these games. So I think the first 5 minutes are going to be key for the Warriors to be able to have a chance to at least make this game interesting, because that's all we're hoping for, that this game is interesting. Even though the Mavericks, I saw a stat earlier that they're 20-0 this season when leading after the first quarter. And of course, they were winning after the first quarter in this game. So let's see if that streak is going to continue or the Warriors can put an end to that streak. And one of the commentators on TNT, Jim Jackson, who he's the analyst for the Los Angeles Clippers, and he was doing the game earlier in the season. I don't know if you guys remember that when the Mavericks were playing the LA Clippers, it was just an annihilation. It was 77-27 in the end of the first half. It was a 50-point lead for the Dallas Mavericks. And, they were just dominating, making shots. The Clippers were ice cold. They were without Kawhi, but they still had PG. So the Mavericks are putting on another historic performance. But let's see if they can keep it up. The Mavericks don't play very much defense. They're more of an offensively focused team. So let's see what's going to happen, in this second half. And I've been, disappointed, with the Warriors, specifically on the defensive end on the floor. Because I thought they could have had a little bit more defensive intensity, defensive focus, attention to detail on the defensive end. The ball pressure is not there. They're just letting the Mavericks just walk the ball up the court, get a lot of open shots, get a lot of lobs, cuts. So I think the Warriors definitely need to ratchet up the pressure on the defensive end of the floor, because Luka Doncic and the Mavericks are very turnover prone. So if they put a little bit more ball pressure and a little bit more denial off the ball, then I think they can force the Mavericks into turnovers and get it, and the Warriors can get a lot of open, some transition points to be able to get them some confidence. So let's see what's going to happen, with that. But I think that also, they not only need to play really good defense, but they need to have a great offensive game also and make shots, because right now there's a lid on the basket and they need to break that lid if they want to get back in this game. And Soham has another comment. Thank you again, Soham, for tuning in. And Volub also He's saying the Mavericks have had a huge improvement this season when it comes not to blowing leads in the third and fourth quarters. Exactly right, Soham, because the Mavericks in the last couple of years, specifically with Luka, they've had a tendency where they play really well in the first half, but then they're lackadaisical in the second half. They just go through the motions. They don't take the opponent seriously, and then the opponent's able to come back and they've blown a lot of leads, especially against lower tier opponents. So this is the Mavericks have been a lot better about that, putting their foot on the throat of the opponent and really taking control of the second half of the game. And really, let's see if that's going to continue for the Mavericks or not. Let's see if they can continue to put the pressure on the Warriors, remain focused, execute on offense, make sure their rotations are sharp and they play good defense. And I've been impressed with that so far with the Dallas Mavericks, and I think that will definitely continue for in the second half. So let's talk about the Western Conference play-in tournaments. So right now, 7 through 10, of course, is going to be in the play-in tournament in each conference, the East and the West. Right now, let's specifically talk about the West. Right now, in seventh place is the Portland Trailblazers. Eighth place is the Memphis Grizzlies. Ninth place is the San Antonio Spurs, and 10th place is the Golden State Warriors. And those teams are very close together. It's a really tight race. So let's see, because every game is going to count, and the Warriors, really need to continue to get wins. And so it looks like the second half has started with the Steph Curry made three-pointer, which is a great sign for the Golden State Warriors. That's 3 for the game for Steph Curry at 15 points. So let's see. The lead is 62-32. So let's see what's going to happen as the Mavericks get the ball back. The offensive end of the floor, Trey Burke with a fadeaway shot is missed. Michael Mulder with the rebound. He brings it up for the Golden State Warriors as they get into their offensive set. Draymond Green attacks the basket, passes it to Andrew Wiggins. He misses a three. So let's see. The Warriors made 1 3. They missed the other 3. And the Mavericks get the ball back. Going forward, going down. So Luka passes it to Maxi Kleber, gives it back on the pick and roll. Luka attacks the basket, fadeaway bank shot in for Luka Doncic. So right now the Mavericks are leading 66-34. So I'm right now watching it on my TV screen, and there's a little lag between now and the scoreboard, on the screen. So, but right now the Mavericks are still up 67-34, as right now I was going to see Luka Doncic gets fouled and he will be going to the free throw line. He's really good at being able to draw that contact, getting to his spots. You can't rush Luka Doncic. He has great, ball handling skills. He can get to wherever he wants on the court. He forces the defense to adjust. He uses his body really well, puts his body into the defender to get space. He's not the most athletic player, but he knows how to use angles. He knows how to, get some space and draw, the opponent to be able to either score on or foul him, as Luka Doncic completes the 3-point play for the Dallas Mavericks. So the Warriors are bringing the ball back down the floor. Steph Curry gets a pick and roll, spots up for 3. Another 3 for Steph Curry. So that's 4 3-pointers for Steph Curry in this game. 2 to start the second half. Let's see if he can continue to get hot as the Warriors are back down. So let's see. Trey Burke misses the layup. Draymond Green with the rebound, but turns it over. Oh, man. Warriors had a chance to get on the break. Maxi Kleber spots up for 3. It's in. Maxi Kleber for 3, as the Mavericks are able to take advantage of the Golden State Warriors' mistake and get the Mavericks back on top. And Steve Kerr is right now complaining, I believe, to the refs that he thought it was a double dribble. I think after the turnover before, once Trey Burke stole the ball and before he made that pass to Maxi Kleber, he thought Dorian Finney-Smith, he thought he double dribbled and he was able to get, to the basket and kick it out to Maxi Kleber. But I think the Warriors are calling a timeout. Oh, no, it's a technical foul on Steve Kerr. He was irate at the refs over that missed call. He felt like it was a double dribble. It was hard to tell from my screen, but still the Warriors, it was just a costly turnover. You get the stop, and then you just give the ball right back to the Dallas Mavericks. So let's see. So Draymond Green brings it up court, gets it to Steph Curry for another 3. No good this time, and Dwight Powell comes down with the rebound, kicks it out to Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic brings it back down to the left-hand side of the court. Pick and roll with Dwight Powell kicks it back to Dwight Powell, but Dwight Powell throws it away to Trey Burke. So it's a costly turnover for the Dallas Mavericks. So the Warriors are going to be getting the ball back. So let's see what's going to happen. So I thought, that now looking back at the replay, that may have been a double dribble on Dorian Finney-Smith. So maybe, Steve Kerr did have a point there, but it was just a missed call by the referees, and the Warriors have to move on. So Mulder gets the ball back. Oh, finishes it with authority. The blow-by finish at the rim for Michael Mulder. And he's been playing really well so far. And Luka Doncic with a pick and roll with Dwight Powell. Luka, with the acrobatic shot and one for Luka Doncic. Again, using his body, finding angles, and is able to finish at the rim. Once he gets to the rim, it's really hard to stop Luka Doncic. Draymond Green had to back up to guard Dwight Powell because in order to prevent the lob, and that left a lot of space open for Luka Doncic, and he's able to draw the foul on Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins thought that there was a little bit of a hook, but it looks like that Luka Doncic is able to get the 3-point play. So the Warriors are back down the floor. Steve Curry does not look happy with the rest right now. So Curry brings it back down the floor, passes it to Kevon Looney. Michael Mulder for 3. It's good for Michael Mulder. So great job by Curry, avoiding the double team, and great passing by the Golden State Warriors. So Trey Burke brings it back down the floor, passes it to Dwight Powell. Dwight Powell passes it back to Luka Doncic. Luka is able to fend off the defender, gets blocked by Andrew Wiggins, gets it back, and is able to score. Right now, the Warriors just really have no answer for the Dallas Mavericks on defense. They're making shots and doing a better job on the offensive end of the floor, but they're not getting stopped on defensive end of the floor, and they're committing too many turnovers as Wiggins just threw the ball away again. And right now, the Mavericks have a really comfortable lead, a 32-point lead. But we see more intensity, in the second half so far. Both teams are going at it. The Warriors are trying to play harder, get back in this game, when the Mavericks are, trying to, keep the lead. They're continuing to play aggressive on both ends of the floor. So let's see which team is going to, prosper in the second half. So Luka Doncic gets the ball back, pick and roll with Maxi Kleber, turns the ball over, another turnover by the Mavericks. Wiggins attacks the basket, gets fouled in transition by Trey Burke, and Wiggins is going to be shooting 2 shots at the line. And I like the Warriors' intensity so far. You could tell that they probably got an earful from Steve Kerr the second half. That kind of effort, championship effort, is not acceptable for the high standard that the Warriors set for themselves, a championship, caliber team. And, like I said, they're doing a great job of having more energy, in the second half. They're trapping the pick and rolls, they're getting passing lane, they're forcing the Mavericks to, commit some turnovers, making the Mavericks uncomfortable, and they're doing a better job of attacking the basket and not just living by the 3-pointer. So I like what I'm seeing from the Warriors so far in the second half. And there is my co-host, Mr. Kumar, is going to be joining the party. Patel Kumar, NBA watch party. Mr. Kumar is holding it down in Mumbai, India. What's up, Mr. Kumar?
Well, you've woken me up very early in the morning just to watch a lopsided game between the Mavericks uh, and the Warriors. And of course, I don't think the Warriors woke up for this game because it's been a very bad half for them. They scored only 29 points in the first half. They're trying to probably do something in the second half. Steph Curry, of course, needs a little bit more energy. The team needs a little bit more energy, but I think even without Kristaps Porzingis, this game is almost over for the Mavericks.
Yeah, it is. Like you said, the Warriors are sleepwalking through, this first half. They're playing a little bit better, more intensity in the second half. They're at least making shots, Mr. Kumar, but they're not, playing good defense at all. The Mavericks are able to get whatever they want, open threes, driving lanes to the basket. It's really tough for, the Mavericks or the Warriors, excuse me. So let's see. It looks like, yes, the Mavericks are gonna come away with this win unless some crazy run happens for the Warriors. I don't see it, Mr. Kumar. I think it's just Warriors are just lacking the focus, lacking the intensity. I think that they may have underestimated the Mavericks a little bit after the Mavericks lost last night to the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, here's a timeout again. Luka Doncic not missing a beat. Another one from just outside the D to make it 80-46 with a timeout taken by Steve Kerr. And hopefully the Warriors regroup at this timeout and make it a game and try to catch up to the Mavericks. But it's Luka Doncic is already like on 28 points on 11 of 18 field goals, and and Steph Curry is just 7 of 14 on 55% shooting, and he's 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. And he's made 89 threes so far in the month of April.
Yep, 89 threes. We're doing a little tracker of Steph Curry made 3-pointers, and they have one more game to play in April after this game, Mr. Kumar. So let's see if he's going to get to 100. Unless he gets really hot in this game and plays really well in the next game, I don't see. I don't see that happening. But at least he already broke the record, like I said earlier, for most 3-pointers in a month. And yeah, back to some stats. The Mavericks have made 10 3-pointers, shooting 50% from three. The Warriors have only made 6 3-pointers out of 25 attempts, only shooting 29%, Mr. Kumar. And it's just the Warriors have 14 turnovers, and the Mavericks have 13 fast break points out of those turnovers. And the Mavericks have 28 points in the paint. So they're kind of playing inside out, while the Warriors seems like they're just living and dying by the three, Mr. Kumar. And that's not going to work if you're not going to make the threes. And like we said, the Mavericks are up 80-46 with 7:03 left in the third quarter. We had so much promise for this game, Mr. Kumar. We thought the Luka-Steph matchup is going to be close. They're both teams fighting for position. The Mavericks are 6th place in the Western Conference. The Warriors are 10th place. But it looks like the Mavericks just are putting their foot down and beating the Warriors pretty badly.
Absolutely, and I think the one advantage for the Mavericks has been that the Portland Trailblazers have not been living up to their expectations after the trade deadline. They got in, normal power from Toronto Raptors, but the last week or so has been a pretty disappointing season for the Portland Trailblazers, and that's why they dropped down to the 7th position in that Western Conference. And Mavericks taking advantage of that fact as well and moving on to the 6th position.
Yep.
Of course, and the Warriors are just hanging in. They definitely probably will be in the playing tournament, but the work is cut out for them because they'll be either the 9th or the 10th ranked team. And as the playing tournament format goes, the 7th and 8th play first, with the winner qualifying as the 7th ranked team automatically. And the loser will play the winner of the 9th and 10th. So the 9th and 10th basically have to win 2 games in a row in order to qualify for the playoffs. And Adam Silver actually just gave a statement yesterday that probably this is a structure that they're probably going to carry forward for the next seasons in the NBA.
It is, and it makes sure that the play-in tournament, it adds a lot of intrigue for the fans before the playoffs. It makes these end of the season games more meaningful, makes teams less incentivized to tank, Mr. Kumar. So yes, exactly. The play-in tournament is going to be here to stay. Mr. Freak, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everybody else for tuning in. He said, how's it going? Well, it's going pretty well. We hope for a better game, Mr. Kumar, but we're just making the most of it right now. And yeah, right now the Warriors are just Steph or bust. If Steph doesn't go crazy like he did in the Eastern Conference road trip, Warriors basically have no chance, against these other teams because, Oubre and Wiggins are very inconsistent. And I don't know where else you get the shooting. Draymond Green is more a facilitator, Mr. Kumar. As Andrew Wiggins just got fouled again and is going to the free throw line. I would like to see more aggressive Andrew Wiggins. He's been a little bit passive, Mr. Kumar, and he was a number 1 overall pick, back in the day, and he has a talent. He just really never cared. He never played hard.
That's another 3 for Luka Doncic, who scored 31 points. He's got 15 points just in the third quarter. He had 16 points in the first half. He's 6 of 7 from the floor in this third quarter, and he's on fire.
He is scorching hot. He's basically throwing the ball into the ocean, Mr. Kumar. As my TV is a little bit on a lag. It just showed on my TV Luka Doncic making that three. So I appreciate you. Spoiler alert, Mr. Kumar, but it's all right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. As it is 83-50, Mr. Kumar. As
Yeah,
Draymond.
Andrew Wiggins with that roll in and another steal, another turnover. I think a lot of
Oh,
turnovers
man.
for both teams.
Yep. Let's see it. As the Warriors have the ball on the offensive end on the floor. Andrew Wiggins to the top of the key, doing some moves on Luka Doncic, attacks the basket and finishes Mr. Kumar. So Andrew Wiggins, another aggressive take to the basket.
And he gets fouled and will go to the free throw line.
Yep. Oh, turnover.
Oh, you're behind. You're behind.
I'm behind. I'm behind. Oh, man.
The internet speed in India is much better.
It is, for sure. It is. It is. But yeah, but I cannot say enough about Luka Doncic, Mr. Kumar. We're on triple double watch with Luka Doncic. He has 9 triple doubles this season. So far, he looked like he's on the precipice of another triple double this evening. He has 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, Mr. Kumar. But the question is, will he get that triple double? Because there's a chance he may not play in the fourth quarter. Due to this big lead of the Warriors.
It's very tough. He's only got like 5 assists and a few rebounds. So, but yeah, I mean, this is like almost a done and done deal for the Mavericks. So I'm sure Rick Carlisle is going to rest some of his starters in the fourth quarter.
It's a beatdown, and they're doing this without Porzingis. So it's even more impressive, about what the Dallas Mavericks are doing. And the Warriors are just disappointing. They're allowing fans back into the arena, and they could have put on a better performance, for the Golden State.
That's a Curry 3 there, and that makes it 5 for this game.
5 for the game, Mr. Kumar.
90. He hits the 90th three-pointer in the month of April.
Will he get to 100? That's a question by the end of April. Let's see. Oh, man.
71-39. There have been very few.
Whew. Yep, that's back where we were showing Luka Doncic with the acrobatic shot and one. Curry with the off-balance three-pointer. He's doing all he can, Mr. Kumar, to bring the Warriors back.
So I mean, the way the Warriors team is constructed, so as of now, and Luka Doncic, which another 3 makes it 34, and it's almost like a 3-point competition between Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. And let me tell you, Luka Doncic is, taking away the trophy right now.
He's saying, Steph, I know this is your house, but I'm the king of this court right now, Steph Curry. And he's playing like it, Mr. Kumar. The young guy, yep, says step back 3. I just saw it right now on my screen. Luka Doncic with the 3. So, yeah, Mr. Kumar's his TV is a little bit ahead of mine. So that's why he's able to react a little bit earlier than me. But let's do.
And there's a timeout taken. So I think we can go ahead and discuss a few more stuff here. But
Oubre, 3-pointer, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, and an assist by Andrew Wiggins. So Kelly Oubre is 1 of 7 from the field. He's having a nightmare of a game here.
Yep, exactly. So Steph Curry 3-pointer tracker this month, 93s. This game, 5 threes, Mr. Kumar. He's doing all he can to try to bring the Warriors back, but just too much talent, too much Luka Doncic, Mr. Kumar.
There's 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Dallas has already scored 88 points. So they've scored 88 points in what? 32 minutes. 32 minutes, 88 points. They're almost scoring 3 points a minute.
Yep, and they're putting on an offensive clinic, Mr. Kumar. And right now, the real difference is the Mavericks with the balanced scoring. Tim Hardaway with 11 points, Jalen Brunson with 10 points, Luka Doncic with 34 points, Maxi Kleber with 10 points. compared to the Warriors, it's really only Steph Curry with 25 points, and Andrew Wiggins has 15 points, but he's 3 of 10 from the field. He's really struggling, Mr. Kumar. And I think this Warriors team, you kind of touched on it earlier. If they get into the play-in tournament, they're not going to be competitive. I think they're going to lose, early. I think this is the lost year for them with all the injuries. Right now, total points through the April 26th game, Steph Curry leads the NBA with 1,657 points. Bradley Beal has 1,632. Mr. Kumar, last night, Bradley Beal took over Steph Curry in scoring leaders in the NBA, but Steph Curry might get that lead back tonight in scoring. We'll see.
No, he will. But I mean, of course, the Wizards play tomorrow with the Lakers. So Bradley Beal, of course, will have a chance to probably overtake Steph Curry again. But, a point to be noted here is that, I mean, Steph Curry is playing like, his MVP season.
MVP.
And he's the scoring leader right now in average points as well. He just overtook Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal overtook him yesterday. When he had 45 points against I think who did they play? They lost in overtime. Oh yeah, they lost in overtime.
Spurs won.
So what is the Spurs now? Are they like 10th or 11th?
Ninth. They're ninth right now.
They're ninth. Okay, and the Grizzlies are the 11th.
8th.
Oh, okay.
Grizzlies. So Grizzlies are able to beat the Blazers twice in Portland. So they're able to get 8th. I'm pulling up the standings right now. But then Portland got a 40-point win against the Pacers tonight, and so it's gonna be tough, for the Spurs right now to come back because both of those teams ahead of them look like they're gonna win.
Coming right out of the timeout, and Burke hits another 3 for the Mavericks.
All right,
the score to 91.
The Wolverine triple, Trey Burke. So nice pass. It was a nice pass, Mr. Kumar, by Luka Doncic. They had a nice pick and roll. The defense committed to Luka Doncic, leaving Trey Burke wide open for the splash 3-pointer. And so the right now in the standings, Portland is 7th, Memphis is 8th, Spurs are 9th, and Warriors are 10th. And Dallas right now is 6th. They're half a game up on the Blazers, and it looks like that they're going to expand that lead, And another turnover by the Warriors, Mr. Kumar. Oh man.
Yeah, the Warriors, I think, have got like 15 turnovers so far in this game.
Yeah. I was telling the audience at halftime the key for the Warriors was within that first 5 minutes of the third quarter to try to cut it within like 15 to 20 points. They didn't do that. They're still down big, and that's why they're going to lose this game.
Kelly Oubre from long range, and he hits that 3.
The lefty 3-pointer by Kelly Oubre.
I think Dallas has pretty much stopped. And there's another turnover for Dallas, and another layup try for Kelly Oubre, but he gets hacked on the rim, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2 free throws.
Yep. And Kelly Oubre is now trying to be more aggressive and look for a shot, Mr. Kumar. Because I think the defense is already committed to Steph Curry, so that opens the floor up a little bit more for Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre, and they're really taking advantage of that.
Yeah, and it's a nice steal by Kelly Oubre. Tim Hardaway just showing a little bit of slack in terms of protecting the ball, and Kelly Oubre taps in and goes for the layup, and of course getting fouled in that opportunity by Tim Hardaway Jr.
And let me just say this about the Mavericks. They're really good offensively. They set the record last year for offense, but they turn the ball over way too much, Mr. Kumar. They get a little sloppy, and that's going to hurt them, especially coming in the playoffs. You have to be able to take care of the ball. And if you don't do that, then you allow other teams to get in transition and to get a lot of open looks, and it puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
Absolutely. Another alley-oop tried by Luka Doncic there, but of course fouled by Kelly Oubre, and but they call it a foul on the floor for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason, and no free throws. Still 2 minutes left in this
What?
quarter.
He was going up, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I think they called it on the floor before he took off.
Hmm.
And that's a nice float in for Finney Smith and makes it 93-64.
They're piling it on.
And an air ball by Steph Curry.
Oh,
And Luka Doncic. Well, I thought he got fouled, but he collects the own rebound and put back by Luka Doncic, who has 36
he
for
keeps,
the game so far.
yep, he keeps adding those points up. 95-64, Dallas Mavericks. Anytime you think the Warriors have a little momentum, make a couple plays, the Dallas Mavericks just come back.
Another steal by Finney Smith, and he hits a three, makes it 98-64. Once again, those turnovers proving very costly for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, they're just sloppy with the ball. It's not really the Mavericks' defense. They're just making these passes that are just not going to work, Mr. Kumar, and they're not able to get shots up. There's too many turnovers, and Mavericks are taking advantage of it. And yeah, and even the Mavericks, others are getting involved. Finney Smith, Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway, and that makes them even more dangerous. And looks like we have a timeout, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, we have a timeout by Steve Kerr.
And it looks like he has his clipboard. He needs to, find something that's going to work for the Warriors because nothing is really, working for them. It's a nightmare of a night. The fans don't look very happy. A lot of restless, people in the stands. And let's see what the Warriors can draw up.
Yeah, so just to give you a backdrop of all the games that happened tonight, OKC win against Boston 119-115. Milwaukee beat Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Charlotte, I think, day before yesterday, but they come back and win this game 114-104. Finally, Portland wins the game. They win against the Indiana Pacers. And Brooklyn wins against the Toronto Raptors 116-103. And Minnesota and Houston, that game is going on. It's in the fourth
Two
fourth
bottom
quarter right now.
Two bottom
Yeah.
feeder.
Both these teams are pretty much out of playoff contention.
Yep.
So they're just playing for lottery standings right now.
Yep. Brooklyn Nets clinch a playoff spot, Mr. Kumar, and they beat the Toronto Raptors tonight. So Kevin Durant, he's looking good coming back to back. He shows that he can do the switch, when he comes back from injury. He comes back as Mark Cuban. Looks like he's enjoying the game, Mr. Kumar. He's their front row owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He seems like he's very happy what he sees on the floor so far.
Kelly Oubre with another launch, but no good there. And a rebound by Tim Hardaway Jr. 50 seconds to go in this period. And Luka Doncic will slow down the game. And a three-point field goal percentage for both the teams, 56% for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic with another three.
Luka mania, man, Mr. Kumar. Oh man, and that
He has
39 points, 15 of
39 points.
shooting 4 3-pointers from Luka Doncic. Oh man,
just dribble out, and they reached 100 points in the third period. So I think this is going to be a huge scoring night for the Mavericks. Another pass inside and another lay-in for the Mavericks. It's 103-64, just 4 seconds to go. And no good there. So that's the end of the third period, and the score reads 103-64. A 39-point lead for the Mavericks.
Oh man, Mavericks are just dominating in all facets of this game, making threes, scoring, creating turnovers off the Warriors, playing really sound basketball, executing on both ends of the floor. The ball movement has been amazing, Mr. Kumar. And the Mavericks look like, if they play like this, they can be very dangerous in the playoffs, specifically as a 6 seed, Mr. Kumar. Let's see what's going to happen. But man, what a performance by the Dallas Mavericks tonight. as we're
Let's go
showing
and see
some
some
highlights
highlights.
of the regular. So Tim Hardaway with the three at the top of the top of the key, as he has been having a nice game. As Dwight Powell is on the sideline cheering his teammate off on a nice dribble handoff from Maxi Kleba, spots up and makes that 3-pointer, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, talking about other teams, we have the Lakers coming up tomorrow against the Washington Wizards. They have a mini road trip to, or of course, they had a good road trip in Orlando, beating Orlando yesterday, and
Oh, come on. Orlando is weak.
I would have been surprised if the Lakers lose there. But a good thing to see is that Anthony Davis is back to about 29, 30 minutes of game time. But it should be an interesting game tomorrow. The Washington Wizards, they're also trying very hard to come back into that playing tournament. And they've been, they've had 8 wins in a row. They lost to, of course, the San Antonio Spurs yesterday in overtime. New York Knicks, they also lost to the Phoenix Suns, and they cut short their 9-game win sequence there. But good overall play by New York Knicks and Washington Wizards, just hanging in there, who still have a chance to come back into playoff contention.
Yeah, if we told you before the season that the Knicks would go on a 9-game winning streak, the Wizards would go on an 8-game winning streak, you would have looked at me like I was crazy. I was a madman. But no, yeah, those were some of the longest winning streaks in the NBA. So yeah, both unfortunately got ended last night. But Bhushan, good to have you on. He said Braun is coming back to join the two ADs. LeBron said a thunderstorm is coming. You saw him, Mr. Kumar, in that video jogging up and down the floor yesterday. It looks like he's ramping back up and coming. Bhushan, thank you for joining. Thank you everybody else so much for joining. We had a couple of other comments saying, hey, good to see you both back. Thank you again. And Himanshu also put a heart. Thank you again, Himanshu, for watching. And thank you, everybody. And continue to put your chats in the comment section below, as it looks like it's going to be a one-sided fourth quarter. And your chats will be featured live on the show. But yeah, Bhushan is saying the New York just lost their winning streak by Devin Booker. Mr. Kumar, he's been playing unbelievable. Are you buying into the Suns, Mr. Kumar, or are you still kind of bullish on them?
I think, it's just so different in the regular season and postseason. So I think, they're a great regular season team because you play, some weak teams, you have a run, but at the same time, playing 7 games against a team like the LA Clippers or the Los Angeles Lakers, it becomes really hard to beat them 4 out of 7. So, so they are a great team. I think they probably will be a much better team next season. So let's hope they continue that momentum and carry on. But I would pick the Clippers or the Lakers to probably be in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I agree. As we start in the fourth quarter, let's reset the lineups for the Mavs. It's Tim Hardaway, Willie Cauley-Stein, J.J. Redick, Nicolo Melli, and Jalen Brunson. And for the Warriors, it's Nico Mannion, Toscano Anderson, Jordan Poole, Kelly Oubre, and Michael Mulder for the start of the fourth quarter, Mr. Kumar. As Jalen Brunson made a basket, and the Mavericks are up 105-64. So. And yeah, Luka Doncic has 30. It was a marquee matchup between two of the top stars in the NBA, and both are showing out tonight. Luka Doncic has 39 points, and Steph Curry has 27.
Yeah, it's a great game by Luka Doncic. He really took over the game there. And of course, we have the reserves coming in for the fourth quarter because it's already a 39-point lead, and giving the starters some much-deserved rest out there.
Yeah. And Mr. Kumar, let's give a shout out to our show. So me and Mr. Kumar are the co-hosts of the Patel and Kumar NBA Talk Show, which is India's first and only live YouTube talk show. We come every 2 weeks on Thursdays at 9 p.m. India time. And you can connect with us at Patel and Kumar on Twitter and Instagram. And be sure to DM us. We love to we enjoy the interactions. And you can watch the episodes live on demand. We cover all the latest NBA storylines. Mr. Kumar break down all the teams as the playoffs are getting closer. Me and Mr. Kumar's playoff predictions are coming up, soon. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. Who's Mr. Kumar going to pick to win the championship? Who am I going to pick? And we've also had some amazing guests, Mr. Kumar, in our previous episode. We had ESPN front office insider Bobby Marks give us perspective on the NBA and the trades. We had Scott Fleming, who's a big part of the Indian basketball community, come on our show, Mr. Kumar. So if you want to watch any of the episodes, you can catch them on the Eklavya's YouTube channel and the Patel Kumar Sports YouTube channel.
Absolutely. And our next show is going to be on the 6th of May.
Yeah.
6th of May at 7 p.m. India time.
Yeah.
And of course, we are trying for some high-profile guests from India as well, and we'll keep you posted shortly. Once again, 7 p.m. India time on 6th of May. That's going to be our next Patel Kumar NBA talk show. And of course, we're going to be discussing internally and coming with the schedule for the next game that we'll have the live watch party.
Yep.
And I hope it's a Lakers game. And
yeah, those of you that don't know, that are new to the show, first time watching me and Mr. Kumar. Mr. Kumar is a huge Lakers fan. Oh, he's a huge LeBron fan. I'm going to correct myself. He's a huge LeBron fan, and right now LeBron's on the Lakers, so he's supporting Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm a huge Spurs fan, but I'm supporting the Brooklyn Nets, Mr. Kumar. So
these are the Khan. Yep, these are the scoring leaders. So 31.1 for Steph Curry, 31 points for Bradley Beal, and 30.1 for Embiid, who's also in the running for the MVP race. And looks like Jokic is on top of the leaderboard right now as we speak.
Yeah, he's on the top. You can also catch a previous episode of me and Mr. Kumar give our predictions, for MVP. And I actually said Joel Embiid, but unfortunately he got hurt. I still think he has a chance. He needs to play a lot of the upcoming games. The Sixers went on a little bit of a losing streak, but they bounced back against the Thunder. But yeah, right now it's Jokic's to lose. He's played every game so far. He's impacted both ends of the floor, and he's been just everything for the Nuggets, especially, since Jamal Murray had a season-ending injury. Prayers up to him. Hope he recovers well. It's just pretty much Jokic or bust for the Denver Nuggets, Mr. Kumar, and he's playing like an MVP right now.
Absolutely. And Bhushan, you're absolutely right. I think we should plan a live watch party when LeBron returns back into action.
King.
And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And the expectation is that he may come back in the first week of May. Yeah,
let's see. He had to recover from that high ankle sprain, and I'm very interested to see how the Lakers look with LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Andre Drummond together, Mr. Kumar. We haven't seen those three play together, and it's going to be interesting to see the fit.
And there's the Curry family 3-point percentage, starting with his father, Del Curry, who used to play for the Charlotte, and it's 40.2% for him, 43.4% for Steph Curry. But surprisingly, the family leader is Seth Curry with 43.7%.
Hey, the older brother has bragging rights, Mr. Kumar. He's a little bit ahead of Steph Curry. And Seth Curry, we have to put some respect on his name. He's had an amazing season with the Sixers. He went in an amazing hot streak. But let's be real. Steph Curry is the best shooter we've ever seen in NBA history, and he is the best shooter right now in the NBA. So I think those are the three Curry brothers. Shooting runs in the family.
Yeah, I think there's a stark difference between Seth Curry and Steph Curry. Steph Curry is more, more balls in the hand. He likes to make the plays himself, whereas Seth Curry is more of a catch and shoot kind of guy, and he's more like the secondary option in scoring in the teams that he has been. So, but looking at the number of threes that Steph Curry launches, 43.4% is a huge percentage. Let me tell you that.
It is. It's very impressive because he has high usage rate, high 3-point attempts. The ball's in his hands a lot. So, yeah, he shoots a lot of threes and makes a lot of threes. And he's able to get to his spots, through his ball handling. He has that nice, between the legs, behind the back move, sweet crossover. He can move without the ball, get to his spots. He cuts to the basket. So, yeah, he is. He's very efficient. And yeah, and Seth Curry is more of an off the ball. He likes to get open through off ball screens, cutting. He likes to do a lot of curl action. But Steph Curry definitely takes more of the high contested shots and the tougher shots, and that's a pretty impressive 3-point percentage for Steph Curry.
Yeah, and there's a timeout taken by the Mavericks, and it's the score reads 111 to 71, and we have about 8 minutes and 56 seconds left for this game to end and the misery to end for the Warriors.
Yeah, just forget about this game. They just need to wash this game away, pretend like it never happened. That was awful. I'm just trying to be nice, Mr. Kumar, but yeah. And again, let's talk about Luka Doncic, 39 points, 4 3-pointers, 15 of 23 for the field. It looks like his night is done, Mr. Kumar, as he's taking a rest on the bench. It's Steph Curry in 30 minutes. He has 27 points, 5 3-pointers, shooting 50% from the field. So not a bad performance by Steph Curry at all. He just really got no help from his teammates. It was just a rough game. And we're doing the 3-point tracker. Go ahead.
Sorry, I mean, looking at the team composition, I don't think he's going to get a lot of help even next season once Klay Thompson comes back. I think they really need a good forward, power forward in terms of carrying this team. I don't think Kelly Oubre or Andrew Wiggins are the right people to really take the load off Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and they need someone else another guard that can be in their trio, that can create his own shot, can facilitate, can attack the basket, can in the in-between game. And yeah, exactly, they need a center. And James Wiseman has been struggling this year, even when he was healthy. Maybe he'll develop more. He didn't play that much in college, but next year they're going to get a high draft pick. So let's see whether they address that center position in the NBA draft. And yep, Luka Doncic, triple-double tracker, 39 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. He's not going to get the triple-double because his night is done. But Steph Curry, in this hot streak in the month of April, he has 93 pointers total in this hot streak, 5 tonight. It looks like his night is done also. So major congratulations to Luka Doncic for another great performance tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. And it's going to lead to a nice win on the road.
Yeah, and there was a win against the Lakers as well after the Lakers were leading by almost 12. Yeah, 12. In the second game, it was like, the Lakers were leading by 14 in the half.
Yeah.
And, of course, the third quarter, they just took over and then they won the game by more than 12 and without Porzingis. So that was a good win for the Dallas Mavericks.
It was. And Mr. Kumar, I wanted to ask you your opinion. I'm going to give mine next, but I wanted to ask about your opinion about Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic. Do you think they fit together? Because Mark Cuban kind of said that they're not really that close, off the court, which doesn't mean they need to be, but they don't seem like they play well together. It seems like when one's on the court, when the other's missing, that the one they play much better and they're much more fluid offensively. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, Mark Cuban also mentioned this is pretty much a little bit of a scenario like Jason Terry had with Dirk Nowitzki. They wouldn't really get along with each other, but come game time, they would, play for the team. So I think it's a very similar situation here. I think Luka needs Porzingis and Porzingis needs Luka. It's both complement each other, So I think, if they want to make the Mavericks win, I think both need to be on the floor. And they're much better off being on the floor rather than being off the floor.
They are. And when they're on the floor, Kristaps Porzingis, I think he camps out on the 3 too much. He's very effective in the lane, getting rebounds, getting the nice post-up jump shots, the fadeaway jump shots. Like he has a nice touch, and he's 7 foot, like 3 inches, so it's very hard to block. Also on the pick and pop, you're kind of a pick your poison. Are you going to prevent Luka from going to the rim, or are you going to guard Kristaps Porzingis from three? Because he's a unicorn; he can make the 3-pointer. So I think they're still trying to figure it out, get chemistry. They've not played that much together, but they're definitely going to need both players if they want to be successful and win championships down the road. And yeah, 41 bench points, Mr. Kumar, for the Dallas Mavericks. They just showed that on TNT.
I know, and Boban Marjanovic comes
fan favorite.
in.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen those commercials, fans in India, with him and Tobias Harris. Those goldfish commercials, they're golden. They are golden. They kind of joke that Boban has the big size of goldfish, and he's like the small pack. The Toby pack is for Tobias Harris. That's pretty much what the commercial is about. It's really funny. So it looks like Nicolo Melli is at the free throw line, who the Mavericks acquired him from the New Orleans Pelicans, and he made the free throw. And look at the fans, Mr. Kumar. They look really depressed. A lot of long faces. They spent all those money on those tickets, and it was a one-sided game.
Yeah, and I've also heard there is a lot of COVID protocols. By the referees as well, and there's a shortage of NBA qualified referees. So there's a lot of referees who are coming in from the G League in order to officiate the games. Some have been affected by COVID, or some have just been under the COVID protocol chartered by the NBA.
Yeah, the players are not too happy about the officiating this year. Kevin Love, if you saw, he kind of, pouted. He just threw the ball in bounds, kind of just batted it in bounds. The Raptors were able to get it and make the basket. He was frustrated about the officiating. Some players have complained about the technical fouls. But yeah, a lot of officials are out due to health and safety protocols, and they're using more G League refs than they usually do. And one of the G League refs that got promoted, Mr. Kumar, this year, Suyash Mehta. Yes, he's of Indian origin. His parents are from India. They immigrated to the United States in the 1980s, and he's of Indian origin, the first Indian origin ref, Mr. Kumar, and he's making history out there.
Absolutely, and it's a proud moment for an Indian origin referee, Suyash Mehta. Of course, he had one of those controversial games, the tough game between, I think, Brooklyn Nets.
With Kyrie.
With Kyrie. And he did call that last moment a charging foul against Kyrie Irving and turning the ball over to the other team. And it was a close game. That was a close game.
It was. But, Kyrie was disrespectful. He got in his face, and he's not afraid. Don't mess with Indian refs, Mr. Kumar. He's like, no, it's enough. Kyrie Irving, as we got about 4 minutes, 38 seconds left in the game. Mavericks are up 118-87. Again, the bench is in for both units. Right now, Boban Bogdanovic is getting some minutes with the Dallas Mavericks, fan favorite.
Yeah, this game is almost over, and I think.
We're almost
but one good thing, one good thing is I think most arenas are allowing 50% of their fans now, and so it's a good thing for the fans to come back and watch the games.
Yeah, it is. I don't know about the Warriors fans if they're not too happy about their performance tonight, but yeah, it's a good thing. Feels good to be back in the arena. Most teams are allowing fans back in, but it's been kind of a disadvantage this year. The road teams have really taking care of business because it's not the raucous arena like it usually is. They're much more focused, and it affects the home team more. So the home team has been losing a lot more games on their home floor, and the road team has been winning a lot more games on the road this year. Will it continue in the playoffs? We'll see. I'm very interested to see that trend, whether that's going to continue or is it going to be reversed that more teams allow more fans back into the arena as we get closer to the playoffs.
I think there'll be more fans. I think, it's a very staggering approach that the teams are taking. I think they're allowing 25% fans, some of them, and then they slowly increase it to 35, 45, 50, and so on. I think it also basically coincides with the vaccination drive. The more people take, vaccination, number of cases goes down. Because right now, India is like the hotbed for COVID. So I would just like to tell everybody to please mask up, socially distance yourself. And of course, most of the country is going through a lockdown phase. So please try and follow the rules. And of course, from today onwards, people who are above 18 can register themselves for the vaccination, which starts the 1st of May. So I just hope everybody, goes and registers themselves and, takes the vaccinations as soon as possible. So stay safe, everybody, because it is a little bit of a scary situation in India.
Yeah, please, everybody, stay safe. Yeah, it is pretty scary, and the cases are rising. Just follow all the rules. Make sure you social distance, mask up, and we'll get. Hopefully that we'll get through this sooner rather than later. It's a tough situation, Mr. Kumar, for sure.
So
And we
what are the what are the games coming up tomorrow, if
So
any?
we are at a real quick before you get there. We're at a timeout. 3:50 left. Mavericks are in full command of this game. 123-87. And Mr. Kumar, I wanted to ask you this. How dangerous do you think the Mavericks are in the Western Conference? If they did, whether it's the play-in tournament or they're in as the fifth or sixth seed, how dangerous should the Mavericks be in this playoffs? Would you fear them as a top seed?
See, the problem is, as it stands right now, probably they play the LA Clippers
They're
in the
not.
first round of they're in the first round of the playoffs. So um, I think it's going to be the same story as last season, wherein they may get a game or two, but I think the Clippers are going to win easily, and especially this year, the Clippers are playing much better. Paul George is really playing at an MVP caliber, and he's taken over the mantle of carrying this in the Clippers team. You don't hear too much about Leonard, and of course Rondo coming back has also
Woo!
helped them. And the news is, of course, is that DeMarcus Cousins has been signed for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting into a more set rhythm. The Los Angeles Clippers. So I think they're a formidable team in the West, and I don't see the Dallas Mavericks beating the Clippers in a 7-game series.
No, they're not. I think their best bet is, the Clippers are right now pretty close to the Suns. I think they're only a game and a half from second place. So the Mavericks would have more of a chance. I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like they would have more of a chance against the Phoenix Suns in a 3-6 matchup. At least that series I would think would go 6 or 7 games. And right now Luka Doncic is right up there with Devin Booker. As a high quality player. So I think that would be a more interesting series. But I agree, it would be the same thing as last year because the Mavericks really don't play any defense. They're more of an offensively focused team. And as you know, Mr. Kumar, the shots are not going to fall on a nightly basis, and they're a little bit too turnover prone for me. So I think the best chance to at least maybe advance out of a first round matchup is if they play the Phoenix Suns. If they play the combination of the Jazz or the Clippers, I think the Mavericks are going to lose in the first round.
Yeah. So let's
So
wait and
let's
see on. So, but I mean, I think the good thing in the Western Conference is, of course, I don't think there's going to be too much of change in the fourth and fifth ranked team. I think Denver and Los Angeles Lakers will end up playing that first round
a
matchup.
hell of a matchup in the first round, man.
It's a tough situation for a team like Denver, and that's a little bit of an injury there. Hopefully, it's not too scary. Jordan Poole with that a foul, but Boban Marjanovic with a slam.
Oh, the Thunder Slam. Boban Bogdan. He doesn't even jump. I jump as high as him, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, but the only problem is you are like 4 feet shorter than him.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a problem. That is definitely a problem for me. Oh man, he's a giant. But no, yeah, we hope that Jordan Poole is okay. Looks like he's walking off the injury a little bit. He got caught up in there. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
it.
they're gonna look at this. I think they'll truly look at this foul for a flagrant, but I don't
Oh,
think it was a
come on.
flagrant. But still,
Don't
I think
don't
they're
prolong the
gonna
game.
definitely review this.
Oh, don't prolong the game, Mr. Kumar. That was just a foul. He just got tripped up. Oh.
Yeah. Well, while we were discussing that, tomorrow's games, we
Yeah,
have
let's talk about tomorrow's
Orlando
game.
playing
Yeah.
Cleveland, Atlanta playing Philadelphia, and that's a good matchup. Los Angeles playing the Washington Wizards. Charlotte playing the Boston again. Chicago playing the New York Knicks. And San Antonio playing the Miami Heat.
Go Spurs, go!
Shivam, Portland playing the Memphis Grizzlies.
That should be a good match.
New Orleans playing Denver, and the Los Angeles Clippers playing
Ooh.
Phoenix, and Utah playing the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, these matchups. There's some things on the line here. The Hawks are trying to improve their playoff position. Without Trey Young, Sixers are trying to catch up to the Brooklyn Nets. The Lakers see how Anthony Davis is going to look tomorrow. The Wizards are fighting for contention. But the Blazers and the Grizzlies, Mr. Kumar, they're going. The Grizzlies are going to win the season series on the Blazers and get the tiebreaker. So that's going to be huge down the stretch. Let's see if the Grizzlies are able to get to the sixth position. Our friend Coach Taylor Jenkins of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's been on our show multiple times. He's a great friend of the show, a great guy. But I'm cheering for the Memphis Grizzlies, Mr. Kumar.
So as after the review, they did think it was a flagrant one. And
come on!
Oh, I think they call it a flagrant 2, and Boban Marjanovic is out for the game.
What?
Yeah, I think so. He's having a laugh at it.
A flagrant 2?
Yeah, they call it a flagrant 2, and
I need to see that replay again. What happened?
It's just Jordan Poole going for a layup, and he gets maybe it's a hard foul, but I definitely don't think you can see maybe the replay now, but.
Did you see that, Mr. Kumar? Boban was standing at the center of the court, and the ref had to come tell him, "Hey, it's a flagrant 2." You're out of the game, and Boban was just laughing on his way out.
Mark Cuban is having a laugh at that, but it is.
So
funny
are you
because
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go.
No. So I didn't think it was a flagrant 2. I just thought maybe to be severe, it's a flagrant 1, but I didn't even think it was a flagrant foul in the first place.
Look at Mark Cuban is just having a laugh about it. And yeah, Boban, the great sportsman that he is, just shook Jordan Poole's hand. Looks like those two are good. But yeah, are you suspended a game for having a flagrant 2? Or
No. I think you're just done for this game. But I think if you have, I think like 3 or 4 flagrant fouls or something, and then you get like banned for a game or something like that. I mean, I know for a fact that if you get like 5 technicals, then you were like pretty.
Oh man, this is perfect. This was a perfect graphic for this. What just happened? The game has become soft. NBA in the '90s, yeah, the tough guy look. Then NBA today, soft guy, young soft guy. 70% agree that the NBA has become soft today, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, but I think it's also the game has changed a lot because it's more about shooting threes. The outside game is far more important. You don't have too many players like really getting in, So whereas earlier it was all about like trying to get in and make plays.
Yeah, and with all the hand, back in the day, they used to put more of an emphasis on defense. You could be more physical, but now with the hand checking rules. It's harder to play defense nowadays, and it's more offensively friendly. The rules. So for sure, it's just a different game. Today, it's just tough to tell. Jordan Poole bounced back. He made a nice 3, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, he did, but it's inconsequential because the score reads 128-99 with 1:10 remaining in this game, and it's just going to be some practice for the reserves. Garbage time. There's 5 seconds on the shot clock. And there's a turnover there once again by the Dallas Mavericks.
38 seconds left. So we're getting towards the end of this. And yeah, tough loss, for the Warriors. Great win for the Dallas Mavericks, bouncing back after that tough loss against the Sacramento Kings last night, so.
So just 30 seconds remaining, and a layup for the Dallas Mavericks, making it 130 to 101. To give you a comparison, field goal percentage, the Dallas Mavericks shooting almost 52% to 40% for uh, the Warriors. 3-point percentage, 51% 3-point percentage for the Dallas Mavericks, and only 37% for the Warriors. And of course, turnovers, 13 for the Mavericks and 18 for the Warriors, and points of turnovers, 15 for the Mavericks and 21
Cool.
for.
Man, exactly. And Luka Doncic again finished with 39 points, making 4 3-pointers, 15 of 23 from the field. And Steph Curry ended up scoring 27 points, making 5 3-pointers, and shooting 50% from the field. So the stars showed out tonight. And yep, Steph Curry's 3-point tracker, he made 5 3-pointers tonight. 93 pointers in the month of April. And Luka Doncic just fell short of a triple double, but he's had 9 on the season so far. As Mark Cuban is now on the Mavericks bench talking to Luka Doncic. And the upcoming schedule for the Mavericks, they got a game against Detroit where they could win. So let's see, if they're able to continue this hot streak. And it looks like it's the game over, Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, the game is over. It's the final score reads 133 to 103. And of course, the player of the game, in my opinion, was Luka Doncic.
Oh, hands down. Hands down is Luka Doncic. Amazing performance by him. Amazing performance by the Dallas Mavericks. 133 to 103. 30-point victory at Oracle Arena in San Francisco, as the Dallas Mavericks are able to take care of business on the Golden State Warriors. And before we get out of here, Mr. Kumar, again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this Patel and Kumar watch party. It's our first time we're doing this. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We enjoyed the comments. We will announce on our show, when we're going to be doing our next live watch party. But again, be sure to when is the next episode, Mr. Kumar, of our Patel and Kumar show?
It is going to be on Thursday, 6th May at 7 p.m. India time. We're going to have the Patel and Kumar NBA talk show live on 6th of May. So make sure you sign up and subscribe to our channels, Ekalavyas and Patel Pick and Roll Sports. And you can also watch it on our Facebook channels and the Maharashtra State Basketball Association Facebook channel as well.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And this is his 135th game where he scored 35, 5, and 5 of Luka Doncic. They didn't show that graphic. He leads the NBA. And I'm watching the TNT broadcast. He's about to talk to the crew, and he is the player of the game, Luka Doncic. And connect with us on our channels, Patel and Kumar on Instagram and Patel and Kumar on Twitter. And all smiles for Luka Doncic, Mr. Kumar, as he's able to lead the Mavericks to the victory tonight. Huge victory as the Mavericks are able to stay in 6th place in the Western Conference and put some distance between them. And while the Warriors are in 10th place, and right now they're in the play-in tournament, but they're just right now on the edge. And unfortunately, they ended up losing this game tonight.
Yeah, it was a sad state of affairs for the Golden State. They really need to go back to the drawing board and think about what they want to do next. If they want to, they're also, trying to hang on to that 10th position in the Western Conference. It is going to be a tough road for them. Of course, Steph Curry going to be the mastermind of that team, but they also need somebody like a Kelly Oubre or an Andrew Wiggins to support him in order to kind of win more games so that they can still be in the contention for the play-in tournament.
Yep, and they need to play better defense. They cannot allow open shots from their opponents, straight line drives to the basket. They turn the ball over too much, so they need to. Steve Kerr is really going to emphasize that, taking care of the basketball, being smart, and I think just being more focused and playing with more intensity. The Warriors just came out flat tonight, and I think they're going to have a burning desire to play better in the next game. We'll see that. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Catch our next episode of the Patel Kumar Show on May 6th, and subscribe to the Ekalavias YouTube channel, Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel. Connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. And Mr. Kumar, it's morning for him right there in India, Wednesday morning for him. It's Tuesday night here in the U.S. We'll let Mr. Kumar get to the rest of his day, and I'll get to the rest of my evening. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Mr. Kumar. I know we still had fun despite it being a one-sided game.
Yeah, I mean, we just thought it would, if it had gone to overtime or something, it would have been far more exciting. We could have had some really good banter out there, but nevertheless, I think as we were mentioning, we would come back with the schedule for the next live watch party. So till then, have a good day to all our Indian fans and all our fans, rest of the world. Good evening, good night. See you soon.
Yep, and stay safe, India. Thank you. Thank you very much.